Welcome to the next episode of The Basic Blokes. I am Dom, and I'm joined, of course, by the wonderful, phenomenal... Hey, how's it going?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Not so bad. It's been an interesting week. I quit my job.
You really have? Oh, yeah. You have told me this.
I have told you this.
But but the people out there haven't heard. But how are you feeling that you've now quit your job?
Oh, it's wonderful. I have never slept so...
It's liberating?
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
Honestly, if people are in a position... I feel like the signs were just being thrown at me. Like, before, I was thinking about quitting my podcast, but I don't know if TikTok has an mind-reading algorithm now, but everything was like, you only have so long to live and might die tomorrow. Do what you want. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's just like... And the next one was, the 9-to-5 system is crippling society. And I was just like, oh.
Is TikTok talking to me? Is it sending me subliminal messages?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, congrats to you, man. Congrats to you.
Yeah, so I'm now a digital nomad.
You're a digital nomad without Dosh.
Without Dosh, yes.
Without the dollars. Oh, but look, I'm sure you'll find something if worse comes to worse. I always say this, people will find work who look for work. And there's people out there who complain that, no, trust me, there's people who don't look, like you say, or they're very picky about their jobs. There's nothing wrong with flipping burgers.
Yes.
You know, if it gets you through the day, if it puts food in your belly and a roof over your head, then who cares what it is?
Yes, wise man say, if you apply for a job, eventually you will get a job.
Exactly.
Here we have wise words from Eric. Quote of the day, apply for a job.
Want a job?
Take it.
Did you look for a job? No, that's what I was doing wrong.
Have you been looking for the job?
Have you been looking? No, you got to look deep inside those words, because there's there's a lot of people out there who don't look at all or make excuses on why they haven't found a job.
Yeah. Can we just talk about how shit having a beard and eating sticky food is? I was eating my breakfast this morning, and I thought, even my protein shake is now potentially on the list of things to eat. Like, I drank it, and it looked like I had been sucking on the teat of a cow. It's just like this great white crusty
mummy milkers.
You do feel
you know
like...
what's worse? You know what's worse is like when you've eaten something and then you're rubbing your beard and you like taste your beard and you go, that was from yesterday. And you realise, and you realise I didn't wash my beard.
Oh my God. The worst bit is when it's like a barbecue sauce gets stuck in this like the edge bit, and then you got to pull it out.
The edge or you pull it out and you're like, oh my God, that's crustacean.
It's like waxing your... It's like a mini...
beard with food, condiments.
I feel there needs to be a market for like...
some of that sauce. Yeah, maybe just go to McDonald's and get those little packets of sauce. Just say, look, I can't afford beard oil anymore, so I'm just getting this.
I'm wondering if beard oil would solve that solution. You use beard oil.
Oh, fuck yeah. I got addicted to using beard oil. I love it. I use that. I got like this, because it smells good. I want my beard to look good. Yeah, my hair, I'm losing my hair, so at least I want to make the hair that is growing well look good. So put the beard oil on, and look at that cedar. I look like I've been chopping wood, looking like I smell like a lumberjack.
I need to get beard oil then. I'm obviously missing out. Can I just use cooking oil till then?
No, don't use cooking oil.
Cooking oil.
Because you're going to have like your cats like hanging off your face because they think Dad's cooking something. Yes. But beard oil is good, but get the really blokey stuff. And it smells like you've been working in a shed.
Engine oil.
Engine oil is a good beard oil. Propane.
Yes. You so flammable tonight, darling.
Yeah. You smell like kerosene. Yeah, it's my new beard oil.
I feel.
I use a beard oil. I use it. Yeah, my kids just know what I want for like Christmas or Father's Day. They get me beard oil or beard wax. Like I use a little bit of wax every now and then, especially when there's some length to my beard. But yeah, beard oil's great.
My partner fails to understand that I want pants and socks for Christmas. We have this conversation every year. And she's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Pants and socks." And she's, "That's so boring, but it makes me happy."
But it's practical.
Yeah. The older I get, the more practical things I want for my...
I'm the same, because like it saves you going to the shops yourself, because I got to go and buy myself some socks and pants, but then when someone buys it for you as a gift, you go, I'm good for the year. I'm
literally,
good.
yeah. If I keep this
I'm
up, I
good
should
for the
be.
year.
I'll be good for the
Hey,
rest of my life.
I got my birthday coming up. I got Christmas coming up. Okay, that equates to at least 5 or 6 pairs of pants and maybe possibly half a dozen socks for the whole year.
5 or 6 pairs of pants. That's a year's worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
One a month.
Easy. Exactly. I like it when my kids buy me like jocks and socks. I used to be annoyed with it, but now the older I get, the less fucks I give.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is a good gift. But like my kids did really well this year. They got me beard oil.
Yeah.
They got me some really nice cologne. They got me some nice and I'm a sucker for t-shirts. Like I like t-shirts. Or so when the kids get me t-shirts, I'm wearing one now.
Look at my face. I had a sip of my protein shake. It's already.
Look at you. You look. You do need a bib or something, for fuck's sake, mate.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. You need to, because you're just still relatively getting new to this whole beard scene. You'll be fine.
Excuse me. I've been growing beards because I'm growing it out for my God of War. It's just not had this much volume in so long.
Yeah. Wait till you get serious volume, because I've had my beard out of here. I look like I look like Grizzly Adams, aka I look like a serial killer beard.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who understands the reference Grizzly Adams. I say it to these like, huh? Was Grizzly Asher?
Grizzly Adams had the best beard on TV.
The best.
It was the best beard on TV.
I never really remember what happened
Dan
in
Haggerty.
the show.
Dan Haggerty was Grizzly Adams. And I used to love that show because when you're a kid, you're so gullible. You think, okay, he's friends with the bear. I could be friends with the bear. And then you realize you go to YouTube and you go, well, bears kill fucking people. But why they're his friends? Yeah. Dan Haggerty, a.k.a. Grizzly Adams, you lied to me. You lied about You broke me. You ruined my childhood. I thought I could be friends with that bear and that cougar. You can be friends with some cougars when you get older.
So what did you think of Sons of the Forest?
Oh, mate, that was fun playing with you this morning, the Sons of the Forest. That was heaps of fun. I must admit, that was really good. The AI character that we got, he is a real mute. He was a real pain.
Got no ears.
He's like, I like how you write him little notes, follow me, and he goes, look, I'm not taking the piss, but I liked it. We got some good jolts out of it, like the screams, like the audio. I hear that, and I'm like, did you hear that shit? It scared the shit out of me.
The audio is on another level. It generally made me jump, and
made me jump, and that's what we need in a game.
And you can't see the little bastarding cannibals either.
Yeah, the ones that crawl or climb up trees, or they just. I hate it. You know what's the worst thing about them though is when they're off at the distance and just watching you, they're sizing you up. I like that. So kudos to the dev team who made that game. Like they've done a really good job. And what's amazing, it's in early access, and we hardly had any problems with that game.
I think, I think there's some UI issues and some certainly physics issues with random logs flying through the air and stuff like that.
We saw the logs bouncing the water like they're made out of jelly. But apart from that, it was pretty good. These AAA title companies could learn a thing or two from these indie dev teams.
I think, right, here's my controversial opinion. If The Forest was released by Activision, for example, people would be shitting all over it.
Oh, yeah. But there'll be care packs and loot boxes. If you pay $49.95 each month, you're guaranteed to survive on the island because we'll drop you down a care pack with Uzis and machine guns and airstrikes and samurai swords.
There probably is a samurai sword in the game, but
there was in the first one. I'm pretty sure there was one in the first one.
The audio was phenomenal, but in terms of, I still think it. I think there's a lot of hype surrounding it. It's not to say I don't enjoy the game, but I think
there's always a hype around it.
I think because of the Forest and how it's similar to the original Forest, I think there's a lot of fan hype carrying it at the moment because you look at it, it's just a well-running game on an island with great audio, but like in terms of like depth and stuff, like we were just building a hut, like.
Yeah, but sometimes it's good to take a step back and be bare bones.
Yeah,
not have it so convoluted and so much stuff involved. Because that's like when I play like GTA or something like that, and everyone goes, "Oh, you can do." I said sometimes I don't like something that does that. Like I just want it to be. I like it a little bit more linear, like something like that. And I just feel that when you have so many options, you get a little bit overwhelmed. It is very similar to the first game. Like it's pretty much the first game upgraded, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like what I don't like is in the book, like when the first time when you had the book and it would explain to you, like you could just go, okay, I want to build that, and you click that item, and then you paste it on the ground. Like, I want to build that house, and you post it, and it'll build. But now it just you look at the book and it goes, well, you just need this and then that, and so you got to like, look at your book over again and again. So the building is a little bit all over the place. The cannibals are very scary, of course. Audio's top notch. I like the look of the map. And I like the addition of a mute offside AI. That's cool, especially if you want to play just by yourself. I understand that. It's cool. I think there should be an option whether I don't know if there's an option to get rid of him if you don't want him in the game, or you do. I'm not too sure about that. But look, I think kudos to them. It's fun, and there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, when's it coming to consoles?" And it's on early access on PC right now.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I feel like I've only scratched the surface of it at the moment. Whether or not there's still any monotony in it is still yet to be seen. Like, they haven't really changed the build system all that much. They just gave you a death guide to do building for you.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
It is.
Especially
if
you're lazy.
But if you're chopping down trees all the time, like it's a bit like the whole running and picking up logs and going backwards and forwards.
Yeah. But you can play with 8 people now, so I think if you had a whole 8 people to play with, you could run like a delegate jobs to say, you guys make the houses, you guys hunt, and the other guys can search for clues or search for that we can use. You know what I mean? I think if you was working with a bigger community, you could delegate jobs and rotate those jobs daily. So that's another thing. But either way, it's good. It's fun. It's very similar to the first one, but that's not a bad thing. But yeah. And like I said, we just scratched the surface. We only played for a couple of hours.
Yeah. Oh, and I want a game like that where I'm just being attacked all the time, like a real build a big fort and just survive. And that would be cool.
Yeah. At least it's not zombies. I like the idea of cannibals. Because it reminds me of those 80s retro films in the days where there was a shipwreck and they go to an island and it's full of cannibals who just want to eat you and shit. I used to like those Italian horror movies. So yeah, I like that vibe. Because zombies are done to death. What else is done to death? Superhero movies. You remember when we was discussing this? The fatigue, the DC and Marvel fatigue. Do you think people are a bit over that or what?
I am over Marvel, but I'm too deep into it now to stop watching. This is a problem. I know as soon as I stop, I will have to then watch a whole load. And I watched Black Panther 2 the other day. And
was it good?
It was a great tribute film, but overall, I don't know. It just it was a bit meh. I just didn't really. Yeah, it was okay.
Do you think that they should have just recasted him?
No, I don't think they should have. But maybe they should have gone. I don't know. I
haven't seen it. I haven't seen Wakanda Forever. You go. And
I mean, the of it was very pretty, and I thought the lady who played the Queen was phenomenal and stuff. And like it had
Angela Bassett, she's great.
If I really do enjoy the combat scenes in it and stuff, but it just was in terms of like story arc, it was just so flat. And I think if this film had come out like in Generation 1, I would have been like, wow, this is really good. But I've seen so much of this now. I'm just like, there's no
wow factor anymore.
Yeah, there's no wow factor. Like, you had a girl, she had an Iron Man-esque suit and was flying around and stuff and had cool tech gadgets. And there's only so many times I can now see people in a dark room with a digital visor kind up in front of them while they talk at the screen. I just like, it was cool in Iron Man, but now I'm done. It seems to be like the way that you show someone in a mech suit or something. It's just,
I think, like with the whole Avengers, like when we were in phase 3 of Avengers, you had the likes of such huge characters like Iron Man, Captain America, Miss Marvel, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye. These were like the golden tier heroes in this epic battle. And then you got phase 4 with a lot of people trying to live up to their expectation. It's like ending a trilogy and then coming off of the trilogy and saying, oh, we're going to have a new sequel, but with people you hardly, and trying to live up to the hype. And the problem is now you've got all these shows, these Marvel shows are tied into these movies. And it's just too much. It's just too much. It's just, you have to watch this because it's linked to that. You got to watch that because it's linked to that. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch every movie and have it, or every TV show that Marvel does, to catch up on everything, and that's why this Phase 4 has just totally lost me. I watched Thor: Love, God and Thunder, and they made Thor a buffoon. They made him. They didn't know what they wanted to do. They wanted to do like serious or complete parody of itself. It was just really crap. I hated it. And I like Teal. Oh God, I forgot his name. The director. I like his humor. I love his movies. But Thor: Love, God and Thunder, I thought was one of the worst Marvel movies. Was one of the worst Marvel movies I've seen. And that tone, I get it. Like you can have humor in a film. I get it, but it has to be placed well. It can't be the overall thing of the movie, because like with a hero film, you want to see obviously the hero win, but you want to see them struggle. You want to see them to come up to here, build it up, and then them to be knocked down and then come back up again. This was just all over the place. I just did not like it. And I think DC are doing good though. Like the Batman, when I watched that was fantastic.
Yeah, the Batman was like, thing about the Batman is it was dark, gritty, and he didn't have to say anything for me to absorb the wow of it. Like it was cinematically, the cinematography was so good. Like it just told the story regardless of what he was saying. Yeah. And I think that's why the trailers also did so well, because the snapshots of it was just like, oh wow. Yeah. I don't look at a Marvel movie anymore and get tingles down my back. No, not here. But it's just good DC film, like the Batman. When I saw it, I just was like, the hairs at the back of my neck were like the music and nothing. It's just so samey in Marvel, and nothing is memorable. I can't even remember the music, and I can still hear notes from like the Batman and the big pictures. Like you look at, I know it's a while now, but you look at like the Dark Knight trilogy, like the music still plays in my head and just you know that it's constant like a heartbeat. All right, here's the difference between me and DC Marvel for me, right? Yeah. Okay. Marvel, when I watch Marvel, everything is CGI. Everything is just in your eyes CGI, right? Yeah. It's from the same palette. No matter who's directing that movie, it looks like it's directed by the same person to me. It's like visually the same, the aesthetics the same. It's got the same look to it. It's all colorful and light and loud and CGI up the wazoo. But then you watch DC, right? And Batman, perfect example of Batman. It's gritty, it's dark, it's moody, it's got attitude. But then you watch another DC movie and it might be more lighthearted, like the Shazam movie that's coming out. That's more lighthearted. And yes, there's some CGI stuff, but it looks different. Like there's not as much of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Marvel to me has lost its way. It's lost its way. They just need to break a breather. They need to take a breather. Yeah. I think they are. And I think 2024 they're going to actually release less. Yeah. Because what I would like is a really memorable bad guy as well. Like Thanos was this dark, looming presence all the way through Phase 1. Yeah. And then you had him, and then you're like, oh, this is really. And Bane, for example, like people still quote, yeah. What's cool about Thanos is, in a way, you kind of agreed with him. We were our own worst enemy, and he was trying to save the planet. I think that feeds into the fact is that the problem with is it's so aimed at children now that it's lost that kind of like that adult intellectual element to it. I don't think it's just children. I think it's just families in general, like people in general who they don't want to upset anyone. They want everyone to enjoy the movies. All right. So you can't, when you used to watch a movie and after the movie you'd have a debate or you'd have a discussion about the movie, like what was your theory or what they did and stuff like that. I don't know if you had those discussions. I had discussions like with friends and we would have a debate about the movie. What were they trying to project? What were they trying to say in the film? But in these movies, it's the same thing. Like they've definitely lost their way. But But what about speaking of movies and stuff? I heard that there's going to be a prequel to the It movies. Yeah, so I'm sometimes HBO stuff can be hit and miss. I thought the It series I thought the movies were phenomenal. They were great. They were great in the cinemas. I watched both of them in the cinemas.
Got some technical difficulties here today on the podcast. My apologies. Dom not being professional. Dom, turn all your mobile devices off, please.
I activated my device.
Vibrator?
My vibrator, yes. I'm looking forward to it. I have to see the trailer and whether or not I actually watch it. The problem is there are so many TV series at the moment that have so much weight and like power. I feel like until it comes out, people just really don't care unless they're enthusiasts like us reading up on it, because you've still got like The Last of Us. People were talking about,
which is phenomenal. It's great. The Last of Us
and
House of the Dragon lost me.
And you've also got, what's the other one that's going around at the moment? Oh, you got The Mandalorian, which is still phenomenally good.
It is, yeah, it's okay. See, that's the same thing. Like Disney just likes to get things that I loved and just fuck it up.
I think
like
The Mandalorian is one of the few good things that they've pumped out recently.
It is actually really... Look, The Mandalorian is really good. I enjoyed The Mandalorian. I didn't mind the Book of Boba Fett. It's just... I think it's because they play with nostalgia and fan base so much, and they just keep pumping all this information. Here's a new Star Wars movie. Here's a new Star Wars show. Here's a new Marvel show. Here's a new Marvel movie. And we're just getting so much of it. It's just overwhelming. And that's why I haven't watched the new Star Wars TV series, what's it called? Endor, whatever it's called. Because people saying it's really good. I said, oh, that's cool. I watched Kenobi, and Kenobi disappointed me. And I was so keen for it. Yeah, I was so keen for it. Because you have two massive characters. You have Kenobi.
Yeah.
And you have Darth Vader. That is the intro. That's all you need to have me signed up for it, right? And then they're more focused on this other lady who's now in this part of the story. And I get it. They're trying to push all this stuff. And if they made her character likable, because like with Darth Vader, he's evil from the get-go, but you like him. They just made her character unlikable to start off with.
Yeah, that's the whole
which
point.
Is a real shame. No,
he wasn't meant to be likable.
No, that's not the point. Like with every villain, there's always a villain that you think, oh yeah, they're pieces of shit. But you're like either we want to kind of in the deep dark way you will kind of root from. But the way they made her so unlikable, and that's why she got so much hate on social media and all this other rubbish. And I feel sorry for her. Like I feel sorry for her. She acted really well in the role in parts, but then there was other parts where when Darth Vader, sorry, spoiler, when Darth Vader jabbed her, he doesn't leave anybody alive. He doesn't like half choke a person and just go, yeah, I'll leave you now. He always killed somebody.
Remember, this is young Vader.
Not that young. It's 10 years have passed.
I still think you've got the story of Kenobi and Vader, and they did it really well. And it was...
No, there were some points there where I thought they could have gone all ham, and they didn't. I felt like they reserved themselves. There were some really good scenes. I loved seeing Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen back as well. I just felt like they underused Hayden Christensen so much. They could have used him so much more. I would have loved to see more without the mask and talking without the mask and stuff like that. Yeah, I was just a little bit disappointed because, like, I'm a huge diehard Star Wars fan. I love the Star Wars sagas, all right? That's dear to my heart. Bigger than Marvel, bigger than any superhero movie.
I really thought Kenobi was awesome, and just the fight scenes between him and Vader were not awesome. And, like, the snapshots of showing Vader's power were really memorable. Like, they set out to show, like, he was just an absolutely unstoppable force. Especially the bit where he marches into the ship hangar and he's just, boom, smashed to the ground.
Yeah, he did some really cool stuff. There's some cool... Don't get me wrong. There's some cool stuff in there, but the disappointment outweighed the positives for me.
I don't know. There was
some really cool things. There was actually one thing I really loved, and I thought, yes, these guys are paying attention to the detail to the Star Wars saga. When you see Luke Skywalker in Star Wars and he's playing with that ship when he's a young boy, and that was just some little throwaway scene in Star Wars, but they added that to Kenobi where he gave him the toy when he was a kid. Yes, this is awesome. They're taking notice. And I thought, yeah, this is cool. I love the first few episodes. I was like, this is good. But then they just went, they're just like, too much focus on this young girl and all her stuff and her problems and her. I don't
think they put too much focus on her. I think there was some wasted opportunities, but
definitely, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't hate it all that much.
Like I said, I didn't hate it. I was just there was some things I liked about it. I love the young Princess Leia. Like I liked her. She was adorable. She was cute. She was a little Miss Independent. Loved her to bits, but just there were some things I didn't like, but the strong points definitely to me were Hayden Christensen, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor. The effects were great, the music score was good, and that little last kick where we saw Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson, that was cool. But other than that, there's just too many things that were just and that's why I've took a step back from watching Marvel and Star Wars, because you know me, everything becomes political when it comes to shows nowadays, pushing an agenda. And what happened to just entertaining me? I don't need education. I just want to be entertained for an hour. Okay.
Before we wrap up, let's do some quick fire. So we still haven't covered Atomic Heart. You played this.
Yeah.
So what did you like about it? Give me 3 reasons to buy it.
Yeah, I think if you're a big fan of the BioShock series, I think you'd enjoy this. I think the visuals are stunning. Like, the visuals are really good. And there's some really quirky humor in the game. But it's on the nose. Or like, it's funny in parts, but it's on the nose.
Okay, and 3 reasons why I shouldn't buy it.
Okay, the humor. Then the hero, the antagonist, the character that I'm playing against, he's on the nose. Like, the voice, like, I know it's set in Russia, so it throws me off. They're all got American accents. Like, if he had a Russian accent when he's speaking English, I would make it more believable. It throws me. You can actually play it in Russian with subtitles. I don't want to read the game. I want to play the game. Also, it takes a little while to get into. That whole opening was like a good 30, 40 minutes. But it's a spectacle. I do like it, but there's a few hits and misses in there as well. But what I've played of it so far, I've enjoyed.
All right, okay. The last one I want to talk about is Redfall. We've seen the new footage for it, etc. What are your thoughts for Redfall now you've seen more playthrough of it?
I've actually been really excited for this game. Like, super, super excited for this game. But when I hear that they're single player, you need to be online, it's like, why are they doing this?
Oh, don't even get me started on this. Who cares if you've got to be online to play a game? You have internet in every house.
Yeah, but not everybody does. What if you're having, let's just say,
what percentage?
Like, I live in Australia, mate. In Australia, trust me, there's a lot of places in Australia that have zero internet. Some people just want to still buy a game. You should still have an option to play it whether online or offline.
It's a live service game.
Yeah.
With live updates, that's the thing. So, unfortunately, you need internet to play it.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. They're just trying to limit us even more and more. Like, they're trying to do away with physical media.
That's a different issue itself. But if you have a game that is constantly evolving and live and being updated, then you need an internet connection to play it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, they're going to email you CDs.
I'm sure there's a way around it. I don't know. There should be an offline mode.
Like, it's a co-op, and this is built around cooperative online with your friends experience.
Yeah,
you don't complain World of Warcraft doesn't have a offline single player
Why shouldn't
mode.
it? Why shouldn't it?
Because the game wasn't built with that in mind. Like, you can't expect...
I'm old and I like old things, okay? Like, here's me trying to mess around my old Xbox One, my Xbox original, Xbox 360, trying to play some old games that I don't require online playability. I don't know. I think it's because, like, we're creatures of comfort, and when things start changing, we either gonna get our torch and pitchforks and carry on. I'm one of those people.
Like, not people don't like live service stuff, but live service requires you, God forbid, to be live. That's something you've just...
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's a surprise, is it? It's like,
I know, but a perfect example. Okay, speaking of live services, look how many live service featured games have actually shut down recently because of live service.
Yeah, but that's not because they didn't have an offline mode. That's because they're just shit games.
Yeah, it's not just shit games, but maybe they just weren't bringing it. Okay, let's just say people who are excited for Redfall, it comes out, right? And they promise all this live service, and nothing happens, and then it's going to be another dead game in under a year.
Okay. Yeah, so that's on them then.
Yeah, but still, I'm looking forward to playing it. That's just my only gripe with it is the live service BS. But it looks good. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I like the look of the game. And no doubt, like you said, playing co-op and stuff you definitely have to be online and stuff like that. I just feel like they restrict options. They seem to be restricting us even more and more when it comes to gaming. Like, what happened to 4-player co-op? You can play 4-player co-op, and now most games, they drop you down to 3-player. There was no bat of an eyelid. No one said nothing, but we accepted it. Most games were 4-player co-op, but now it's 3-player. There's not many games that were... Why?
Because we're getting older, and as we get older, we get busier. Getting 4 people together is trickier. Like,
how is one person going to make a difference?
It will make a difference. If I could ring you up, I can go, hey, let's play a game, and then you think, oh, sure, we can easily find one more. But finding 2 more people...
Well, giving the option to people, say, play 1, 2, or 3 or 4. Give us more options. Don't limit our options. That's all I like options. I like to have an option. And they seem to restrict those options more and more.
If you're going to go that route, you can say, well, why aren't they giving me 5? Or why is it not 5
Well, give us
players?
5 then.
Like...
Give us 6. Give us 10. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just... These people are making a shit ton of money out of games. Look at the AAA titles and all this stuff. And they're bringing out broke-ass games day after day, year after year. You mean you can't say to me, you can't change a few things here and there? When people are asking for it, give it to us. Like, we're the ones paying the money.
What games did you get upset last about that didn't have 4-player co-op?
Gears of War, actually. Gears of War 5. Like, you could be the 2 players, your friends, or the robot. No one wanted to be the fucking robot.
Okay.
Like, Gears of War 5, like the whole Gears of War series for the most part, especially Gears of War 3, was like having 4 players. And when you do Horde mode, you have 4 players. Same thing if you do the campaign. What's the problem with having 4 players? Why do you need to change that?
I expect 4 players was based on the fact that your TV was easily divided up into 4 sections, so that you could have 4 players.
Oh, this is online.
Now stuff is
everything.
Online. Easier to just do.
Look, I don't mind having 3 players. I don't mind having 3 players, right? I just like to have options. As a gamer, we like to have options. Not limit to us. Expand on it, not limit it. That's all I'm saying.
I can't remember the last time I played a game was like...
You're not me. I'm just saying, like, when I'm playing... Like, if you look at the Xbox 360 games and the PlayStation 3 games, a lot of those games were 4-player. Like, a lot of those games. And then when we went to the next gen, a lot of games just suddenly dropped back to 3, but no one was saying anything. Yeah, but they were online too on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
It was a day and an age where people would come around to your house and play games. Now people just play online. Most games that are multiplayer focused aren't just 3-player. They are 6v6 or 12v12.
Yeah, but that's multiplayer. Yeah, all I'm saying is I like to have options, and I'm not backing down from that.
Fucking. Anyway, I'm gonna give you the option to go away now because that is the end of the episode. So thank you everyone for listening.
Thanks for listening to us, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.